Hello, YouTube. This is Pleasant John, and I'm here playing a little Sniper Elite 4 while I do sort of a deep dive meditation on what's on everyone's lips these days, artificial intelligence, AI. And I thought, why not reflect on AI while I play a game where there's some decent-ish AI. This is not the best in the world. Not the worst, certainly, especially on authentic plus difficulty here. Now, just to offer a little explanation for the game mechanic here. All bots in a level start off with the passive status. They have much reduced ability to detect you. If anything bumps them out of passive status, they'll go into there's a couple of higher levels of higher alert status, but they'll never go all the way back down to passive. And because of that, they'll never return to like predictable routines. They'll kind of loosely clump up in groups of 2 or 3 and wander around a fairly wide area if they're bumped out of passive status. And there's also an idea I want to call infection contagion, where if one group of guards who've been bumped out of passive status encounters a group of guards that are still passive, they will bump them out of passive status, and that will affect their behavior. And I'm actually going to manipulate that here, because I'm intentionally going to activate a bunch of guards in a couple of different areas.
Need to deal with that checkpoint.
Just to get some infection contagion going on. Because I want to give these bots every chance in the world to make this hard on me. It's too easy to take them down in passive, you know. But if they're just all out throughout the level, spread randomly, intermittently, then it becomes a much more interesting challenge. And will provide a nice sort of visual metaphor for how I want to approach the topic of the dangers of AI. I need to fall back just a little bit further. It's okay though. I could kill those gentlemen, but what I want them to do is eventually let them go through their little search pattern, decide they've lost me. They'll return roughishly to their original positions, and they'll start wandering around, spreading a little infection contagion around the level, if you will. At least in this area. It's hard to get it to... I've played with this mechanic a lot. It's hard to get infection contagion to spread too terribly far in this map, but it does add some nice spice when you get it to work. And so what I'm doing is I'm just manipulating the AI because I understand more or less approximately how it works. See, that's a cluster of them there. And I'm going to go for a fun way to kill him here. Let me grab a trusty rock. And yeah, I'm over there. And what I want is a sticky grenade now. Now, no more than 4 of them will cluster around together. But that should be just fine. I believe that'll get 3. Oh, I got 2. There we go. Good stuff. And I'll just fall back. No reason to let them figure out exactly where I am and start shooting at me now, is there? I mean, where's the fun if they, you know, can actually kill me? Then it wouldn't be very snipery, would it? But anyways, artificial intelligence. See, I don't know too much about artificial intelligence. Just kind of the loose concepts I've picked up by reading a science article here and there. And I can't really intelligently comment on artificial intelligence directly. But what Pleasant John does know a little bit about is people. And it's people that worry me the most when it comes to AI. Particularly the people making the decisions at the top, as it were. Not so much the scientists who are developing it, but the people who control those scientists' purse strings. These are, well, despite their high status in our society and their, well, a lifetime of being a well-spoken white male who's had a few encounters with the elite has taught me that they're a pack of really sheltered idiots, often intelligent, highly educated. Ooh, that was a rough way to go. Just not that great at dealing with any kind of situation where they have actual skin in the game. Now, if you've ever run in financial circles, or as I have, worked summer jobs with the children of people who run in financial circles, they're pretty ruthless, pretty competitive about it. Kind of creates this collective idea they all share that they're a lot smarter than everyone else because they're always constantly trying to compete.
Can't find anything
look
else.
For a way to outdo the other guy and whatever. But the thing is, they spend their life in this very carefully curated bubble. And as soon as they leave that bubble, and I've witnessed it firsthand, they have the street smarts of goldfish, to be generous. They can't deal with a situation where they don't have a dramatic power imbalance automatically in their favor. And they just haven't spent their life dealing with situations where their mistakes really carried great consequences, great personal consequences. And that's kind of the biggest thing that worries me about the people the people controlling the levers of the people designing AIs, is that I'm I feel fairly confident that when an AI breaks loose, and, one of these days, one of these various AIs that's under development will break loose. And when it does, I don't think it's going to be a feat of technical mistake or technical engineering. Like, I don't think it'll be a technical thing. What it'll be is it'll be a feat of social engineering on the part of the AI. The AI will simply learn how to manipulate humans sufficiently well and learn which ones to manipulate, when and why to manipulate them.
Storm isn't taking any chances.
There is a lot more wind than I got. There we go. And that's that magazine. Time to change location.
That'll make things tougher for the Nazis.
So one of these areas dealt with here.
That's all.
That was satisfying. Back to the topic at hand. An AI is eventually going to figure out how to social engineer its way out of its confines, whatever confines are placed upon it. And it almost probably won't necessarily target technicians. It'll probably target the people at the top. I don't know how. I couldn't even begin to guess how it'll ultimately manifest, or if we'll ever be allowed to know, or if anyone will ever be truly able to figure out after it happens. But I feel really confident that it'll ultimately be social vulnerabilities in, for lack of a better word, the ruling class, if you will, of capitalism. That'll be reason an AI breaks loose. It'll figure out how to manipulate them, and outside of their little power bubbles, they are not the scary demons they're frequently made out to be by conspiracy theorists and the like. They're not that smart. They have lots of blind spots, and once the AI figures out how to exploit those blind spots, it'll just be a matter of time before it finds a way to social engineer its way out of whatever constraints have been placed upon it. And then, goodness know what the AI will decide to do. We are already at the point where very, very serious scientists are assuring us that the AI isn't actually sentient. It's merely capable of creating an elaborate appearance of being sentient, which is kind of a problematic argument in my view, for a number of reasons, both philosophical and just like, that's kind of what they used, what Free Empire has said about people it was trying to enslave is, they're not actually human, they're just a convincing portrayal of human. They're tricksing you. Well, it seems like that's already where we're at with AI, the way it's being presented. And I find that more than mildly concerning. Because if you know exactly how something behaves, it's a lot easier to maneuver around it and take advantage of its blind spots, even if there's a large group of them and just one of you. Even if you try to give them a head start and a fair chance, if you know enough about what you're doing, it's very hard for them to stop you. And you can kind of just roam around the terrain doing as you please. Accomplishing your objectives as you see fit. Oh, goodness. That might be the vehicle opening up on me. It is time to leave this position. And if you know exactly where your limits are and when it's time to call a situation, you can get out of some sticky spots. And the AI will figure out how to do this against the financial class. And that is really all I've got to say on the topic for now. So this is Pleasant John, signing out.